All right, hey everybody, John here, John the Editor, obviously. Now, if you're listening to me, you probably can't see what's on the screen, but if you're watching, if you're looking at the video, you can see that I've put a fairly amusing photo, at least I think it's kind of funny, on the screen. It's a young man about, I don't know, 25, maybe 30 years old, got a close cropped beard, he's got a nose ring, he's wearing a plate carrier, he's posing with, I think, an AR-15. And he's had some custom patches made for his chest harness. One of them is a rainbow patch with a black silhouette of a rifle on the patch. And the other custom patch he's got is his pronouns, his personal gender pronouns, which in this case is they, they, them. All right? Now, to be clear, I think that this guy is probably in the United States because this kind of bravado, this gun bravado, is very much an American thing, not a Canadian thing. By the way, I'm a Canadian, in case you hadn't figured out from my accent. But the photo encapsulates, quite beautifully encapsulates, one of my trains of thought that I'm going to articulate for you here. And there's a reason I'm pointing out that he's an American, I'm a Canadian. The gun he's posed with, I believe, is an AR-15, which is, I think, freely available in the United States. It's very popular. It is a restricted weapon in Canada, which means you can still buy it if you're a civilian, but you need to get a PAL/R, qualify for the restricted purchase and acquisition license in Canada. And so I don't have this particular gun, or any other gun for that matter. And even if I did, I would not pose with it in a photograph to, flex my little man muscles online. I just don't think that's a good idea. That's you're inviting a violent conversation. You're entering the conversation with the implication of violence already, like right up front, which is not a very good way to make friends and influence people, in my personal opinion. But this photo is kind of beautiful in a way, because in Canada, we have a law which was passed called Bill C-16, which was an omnibus bill, I think, and included, among other things, the requirement that if somebody tells you their gender pronouns, their alternative gender pronouns, which in this case is they, them, which to me, my brain still thinks that's plural. So if you use they, them, I think there's more than one of you. The reason, though, I have posted his photo in this video is I think it illustrates a point that has been on my mind for some time, and that is with Canada after the passage of Bill C-16, gender pronouns have taken on a new meaning. Bill C-16, which is now law, by the way, states, among other things, that if you announce your gender pronouns to somebody and they don't use them, like if you're male or if you seem to be male, like you have the appearance of being male, and you tell somebody that your pronouns is she, her, or they, them, or anything other than what would be expected and normal and standard, like you say, my pronouns are something other than he, him, and somebody still refers to you as he, him because they forget, or they're like, I'm not going to play your game. I'm just not having that. You're not going to tell me what I can and can't say. And then they turn around and they call you, they're talking to somebody else, and they say, yeah, he told me blah, blah, blah. In Canada now, under Bill C-16, you can be charged with a hate crime, which means that telling somebody your non-standard gender pronouns in Canada is a threat. It is a threat. When you introduce yourself in an email or in a conversation, or you put your gender pronouns on your resume, or maybe you put it in your email signature or whatever, you're introducing yourself with a threat. And that's why I put this picture up, because this photo, this dude with his plate carrier and his little rainbow patch and his AR-15 and his gender pronouns, a custom name tag on his chest harness, this is clearly a threatening photo. Like, he's posted this to show you how tough and dangerous he is. This is the perfect encapsulation of Bill C-16. Here are my pronouns. If you don't use them, there's violence following. Now, a lot of people in the workplace in Canada are being forced to participate in this nonsense. People are putting gender pronouns in their email signatures. They're having like gender alternative orientation meetings in your workplace and all that stuff. And I think we need to alert to the fact that the announcement of gender pronouns after the passage of Bill C-16 is an explicit threat. Every single person who does it is uttering an open threat to everybody else. The violence of the state, unless you say the magic words that I tell you to say. This is egregious, of course. This is disgusting, despicable, and I don't think we should tolerate it. I do not think we should become a society that normalizes the issuance of a threat of violent retribution in our professional greetings. Now, I've said I don't think it's a good step. I don't think it's a good precedent or a good practice for us to begin normalizing the issuance of a threat in our greetings to either our friends or within our professional lives. I don't think that's the kind of society that I want to be a part of. Hi, my name is John, and by the way, or here's some officers from the local enforcement agency if you don't say the magic words. This is no way to have a society. But the converse side of this is usually when people make a statement like I'm making right now, they'll turn around and then say, but of course I bear no ill will towards anybody who wants to re-identify themselves, redefine themselves with some alternative language, these alternative gender pronouns. Like, I'm not going to explicitly state that. I'm not going to go through that song and dance and go, I have no disrespect or I have great respect for trans people, because that's already a thing that people say under duress of violence. You understand? I don't need to say that. I don't need to do a little song and dance about how I have, no malice, or I have respect for, in this case, it's people with a trans pronoun, right? Or it might be in another video where we're talking about threats being made. I have no disrespect for women. All of those disclaimers are actually disclaimers made under the implicit and perpetual threat of the use of force. Those are statements made under duress. I'm not going to say that here because my conduct, my behavior, my persona in the world that I interact with, I go out and I talk to people and I buy groceries and I work this job and that job and I hire people and I work for people. In none of that is there me demeaning somebody because of their sexual orientation, their skin color, their religion, or any of this other stuff. So I'm not going to play this game, I have nothing but respect for trans people, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to suggest to you that you also stop doing that, because what you're doing is you're admitting, you're stating implied that you recognize the threat of violence, and you're going to appease it by saying you're not guilty of a thought crime. Oh, heavens to Murgatroyd. No, you're a good little obedient thought follower. So, yeah, there is no explicit statement in this video where I do the little song and dance and say, oh, I have a great respect for... No. I deal with people as they are people. And when they're assholes, that's how I treat them. You get the hand. And when they are nice to me, or they're neutral, or they just don't care, because most of the people we walk past in our daily lives, they're busy with their stuff and we're busy with ours, and we just don't bother with them. And I don't like this constant practice of validation of, oh, I don't have any disrespect for X group, Y group, Z group. Because those claims, and I know I'm being repetitive here, are made under the implied threat of violence, and you're agreeing to that threat by doing your little song and dance about how you have nothing except respect for blah, blah, blah group. I don't respect groups. I respect people who demonstrate that they need respect. And everybody else, I just move along with my day and I leave them alone. Anyway, I'm sure I'll be arrested for thought crimes after this. Thanks for watching. Thanks to the people helping to support this channel. Special love goes out to my subscribers on Subscribestar and Patreon. So if you feel like you want to support the channel, there's links in the lower bar. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a lovely, lovely